Hi, I'm Marissa Kozlov. Welcome back for another eMarketer Industry Voices, where we bring you perspective on how marketers are working through challenges and what they envision for the future. With me today is Janette Yauch, Brand Vice President of Bounty and Puffs at Procter & Gamble. Janette, nice to see you.
Hi, Marissa. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here today.
Janette, when I think back to the start of the pandemic in the spring of 2020, one thing that I will never forget is that almost overnight, it seemed like the stores had nothing left in them. Paper products in particular, you saw on TV, shelves empty, no napkins, no tissues, no paper towels, no toilet paper. Did you ever imagine a scenario where stores would ultimately limit the quantity of product that consumers could buy?
It's not out of the ordinary. We see when there are snowstorms or when there are, natural phenomenons happening. Toilet paper, especially, but including paper towel and tissues are just something that consumers do not want to run out of. But the extreme that it went to in March of 2020 when the pandemic first hit was really beyond anything that we've seen before, and really something, that we had to quickly pivot and adjust our supply chains and production strategies in order to be able to really still meet the needs of the consumer and deliver what we know is a really important product in their life, which they proved to us by the stock up behavior that we saw.
Well, tell me more about that. What was it like to fulfill that demand?
We, first and foremost, our priority was the safety and the health of our employees at all of our plants. But within that, how do we maximize our overall production? And so we did things like really optimizing our lineup of SKUs that we made available. And so we really looked at, what are the most efficient SKUs to run on the lines, and what are the products that consumers are really wanting the most? And let's focus on a much more narrow subset so that we could deliver more throughput out of the existing production capability.
Were there any marketing efforts to communicate the availability of product being back in store?
Yeah, absolutely. So across Bounty, Charmin, and Puffs during the height of the outages, we were very proactive in taking an empathetic tone. We actually changed our mass TV communication on Charmin specifically to really, run right at the problem, which was that we know you want Charmin. We love that you want Charmin, and we're very sorry that you can't get Charmin right now. And we're working as hard as we possibly can to get it back to you. So across our mass media channels as well as our digital touch points, we had very proactive communication.
So between all of these major happenings over the past year or year and a half, are there any takeaways that you can share with our audience for what you've learned?
Through all of this, we saw that every part of what we do has had to be relooked at, right? Even from consumer research. Previously we did lots of in-home and in-person consumer research, and we had to shift all of our learning. We couldn't stop learning, but we had to shift all of our learning into digital tools and tactics. From a creative production standpoint, we had to be extremely careful, obviously, as we were filming and producing. And so just, having an organization and a culture that is, agile, that can think on their feet and that can really, get creative and find solutions, setting that as a cultural tone, I think can help us all going forward should we have to weather something like this again.
Let's switch gears to a little bit of a lighter topic. Bounty has rolled out campaigns on Twitch and TikTok. Both of those platforms skew to be younger audience. How have you approached these platforms?
I think some of our older consumers can still play back Rosie on Bounty in the diner and the awesome demonstrations that she used to do of Bounty, and they still have that kind of nostalgic connection to the brand. But we need to deliver that message to younger consumers in a place and in a way that really resonates with them. So on TikTok, we've actually recently launched an exciting campaign partnering with Jason Derulo, a very famous rapper. He wrote actually a rap that featured Bounty in it, and then and he's a very fast rapper. And so we invited consumers and other rappers and other influencers to play back this rap, which, of course, was featuring Bounty and got us lots of great Bounty mentions, but also was just a really fun way to engage on the platform with our consumers.
That's great. I think the one that resonated with me the most was the one with the three gamers, and one of them spills some red juice near all of their wires and quickly cleans it up with Bounty, and then all the other gamers playing with him sigh with relief knowing that nothing got ruined.
Absolutely. We call that the moment of failure or the consequence. And so for Bounty, it's all about showing, the consequence if you don't have a great performing product sitting next to you. There are real consequences of spills. And so Bounty's here to help. And we want to show consumers that in a really fun, relevant way.
Let's talk about sustainability. This is a term that comes up frequently now. It's a global concern, but it's also something that influences customer behavior and also purchasing decisions. How is Bounty taking steps to produce more of an environmentally friendly product?
So from a manufacturing side, we're focused on reducing the waste that we bring to landfill and ensuring that we're producing more electricity than we're actually using in our production processes. And from an input standpoint on material side, we're using recycled fibers in the places and parts of the product that don't impact performance. We're really ensuring that we're using certified fibers and partnering with industry leading certification councils to ensure that we're using the most sustainably sourced and responsibly sourced products that we can. And then from a recyclability standpoint, our poly packaging is recyclable in your normal plastic recycling facilities. We also know when you use Bounty, Charmin, and Puffs, you can use less. And so that is another way to be more sustainable, is to not have to use as much of these products. And so that's another way that when consumers choose us, they're making a more sustainable choice.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Janette.
Absolutely. It was great being here. Thanks for having me.
And thanks to all of you for tuning in to Industry Voices. We'll see you soon. And until then, stay healthy, stay safe. Please wear a mask.
There's magic in the air. Or maybe it's just business and tech getting along. VTech's commerce platform helps you find the harmony between business and technology. VTech's